Hello, thank you for visiting my channel. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to customize your t-shirt with Ankara fabrics to create different designs of your choice. So either you're making to sell or you're making one for yourself, you'll be able to work with the neckline, the armhole, and other parts of the t-shirt without having to loosen your t-shirt or sew from scratch. So today, this is the design we'll be creating. And I'll be making use of these t-shirts. And this is the fabric I'll be using. So we need to work on the armhole, the neckline, and the shoulder line. So I've placed the fabric on the t-shirt, and I'm just going to trace out with a piece of chalk, trace out the armhole, the neckline, and the shoulder line. So here I've placed the fabric with the outside facing up on the t-shirt. So by the time I flip over, the design will be facing the other side. So for the design we're working on, the neckline will be stopping at the midpoint. So we'll stop tracing at the midpoint here and go down from that midpoint by 8 inches on the diagonal. So to connect the 2 points together, I have to confirm that my midpoint is correct. So confirming the midpoint, I'm going to connect the midpoint of the neckline to that diagonal point I measured earlier. From the armhole, I have measured down by 7 inches. You can go further down if you want. And now I'm going to connect the 2 points. So now you understand how to cut the armhole, the neckline, and the shoulder line. So to cut on the straight lines, I'm adding 1/4 inch allowance. For the curved side of the pattern, which is my neckline and my armhole, I have added no allowance. This is because I'll be using bias tape to turn them over. So for that lower side, I added 1/4 inch allowance also. Same for the side seam, 1/4 inch allowance. But for the armhole, I'll be adding no allowance. And as you can see here, this allowance is to allow me fold over the fabric. So fold over the fabric on the shoulder line, neckline, on the shoulder line and the side seam. So you can see the way I cut the fabric, because it was placed on the other side. Now flipping it over, the pattern is facing the other side. So I will use this bias tape to turn the armhole and the neckline as I have done here. So I'm just going to fold it over on the armhole and the neckline. So I've placed the folded part of that neck on the neck seam of the t-shirt. I folded all the side with the extra 1/4 inch allowance I added earlier when I was cutting. So I'm going to fold in the 1/4 inch allowance on all the sides. For the armhole, I'm going to just fold in the bias that I have added and ensure that I place it on the armhole seam. For the shoulder line, I'll fold in the 1/4 inch allowance or 1/2 inch allowance that I have left. So you can add more than 1/4 inch allowance if that will be easier for you. So here I have secured with pin. I'm going to sew on the sewing machine. Ensure to open up your t-shirt so you don't sew on the 2 sides of the t-shirt, and just pass under your needle as you sew. So stitch directly on the neckline, that's the neck seam. Remove the needles as you go and sew directly on the seams. So if you get to a point and you need to turn, lift up your machine foot, turn the fabric, and continue sewing. Here I'm sewing on the shoulder seam as well, directly on the shoulder seam.
Keep it low key, keep it softly spoken, with no strings tying you to me. I'm happy in your company with no emotion, cause my love deserves.
You don't need to rush here, just take your time. Ensure that you are not sewing on the other side of the t-shirt, so you need to adjust accordingly. So on the armhole, also ensure that you are sewing on the armhole seam. Stitch on the armhole seam. Then when you get to the end of the armhole, you will sew the folded side on the side seam also, as you can see me doing here. So I'm adjusting as I stitch to ensure that I'm not sewing on the other side of the t-shirt. So with this in mind, you can do any design you want on any t-shirt. You just need to know how to work with your neckline, your armhole, your side seam, and how to place your t-shirts under the machine. So this method is to show you how to do all of that. Adjust your fabric on your t-shirt as you go. So it's very important to pin it down so that the fabric does not move from where you have positioned it. So you can easily take off the needles and pins as you go. So here, as you can see, I am done stitching and it looks very neat. It looks very neat and tidy. So you can see this is really easy and simple to make. Go ahead to customize your old and new t-shirt, make for yourself and make for others, and rock in various designs and prints of your choice. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, to subscribe, and to share. See you next time. Bye.